Welcome to the Menopausal Women Show for nutrition, health and wellness. I'm Michelle, and as a nutrition and wellness coach, I work with menopausal women to transform their hormone health and well-being to achieve the life they want to achieve. And on this podcast, I share research findings on hot topics, talk with other holistic healers, and share my own experiences to empower women to take steps to a better lifestyle. Now, this week is so exciting because we are covering the hot topic of belly fat. Okay, it is a solo episode, but I was inspired to delve into this further after I was interviewed myself by Julie from Yourself Yoga. And we covered it in a very high level for her listeners. And I just wanted to go a bit further to you with some of the research behind it. So let's not wait, let's dive straight in because I am super excited. First question, what is menopausal fat and why do we get it? So our bodies, okay, when we are born, we have the hormone estrogen, okay, and that indicated to shape our bodies to fertilize, to reproduce. Now, with the decline of estrogen, which we all know happens in menopause, it signals the body to store fat around the waist. And menopause belly fat is basically where your belly is widening, you may feel bloated, and you start changing shape. Now, as well as just we've got this indication of storing fat, we also, it's coupled with the fact that with the decline in estrogen and other hormones throughout the menopause, we also lose muscle mass, okay? And usually that muscle mass, the first place it decreases is around the midsection, and that decrease will then be replaced with the fatty tissue. So what do I mean by fatty tissue? Now, the most common, or I should say the most important type of fatty tissue we need to be aware of is the visceral fat, okay? And this fat is stored deep within the abdominal cavity. Okay, I'm not saying when we talk about the abdominal cavity, like the six-pack that you can usually try to create, right? The visceral fat also is stored around important organs like your stomach, your liver, your intestines, and heart. And if we have too much of this fat, it can be really dangerous for our health and can lead to conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, and stroke. Now, it's not just focusing on those two factors of a decrease in muscle mass, okay, and an increase in fatty tissue. There are a number of other factors that contribute to our weight gain and menopausal belly fat. And that can include body composition, gut microbiome, fat and sugar metabolism, and lifestyle patterns. So what can we do about it? Unfortunately, researchers suggest that the changes occur and the decrease and changes in hormone levels, it's a continual. And it has been proven that as you go through an age, okay, your weight will increase. But there is a lot of preventative measures that we can take. And that's where I want to dive a bit more in and giving you some real hot tips of what you can do. I'm going to give you a little bit of science behind it. So for our first focus is we're going to just delve a bit more in the muscle mass. So I've mentioned that as we get declining hormones, our muscle mass decreases, but the rate at which our fat mass increases. Now, what's really important here to understand is that the muscle mass and lean muscle mass is a contributing factor on how your body processes and metabolizes food. Therefore, with the decline in muscle mass, you're at risk of gaining weight because the more lean muscle mass you have, the quicker your body burns food, which is essentially one of the areas that we really want to focus on. So what do we need to do, okay, to increase this muscle mass? There is a couple of lifestyle changes. First of all, by eating a high protein food within your nutritional plan, it can aid with increasing the lean muscle mass, coupled with adding some strength training into your lifestyle. Now, when we talk about strength training, the first image that comes up in most people's minds is hours in the gym, pumping the iron, okay, big dumbbells, right? It's not just that, okay? You can use resistance bands or body weight, okay? There is lots of different ways you can do strengthening exercise. And for me, I think it's really important that that has to be coupled with how you're feeling. Because one of the menopausal symptoms that we all do is sore joints and tiredness. So we have to review our lifestyle, what day of the week it is, what we've got on, what will suit yourself. And it could be a strength and flexibility yoga routine, okay, or just a bit of a power Pilates. Now, the foods that we need to focus on when we touched on about high protein foods is we need to really focus on adding lean meats, fish, eggs, yogurt, lentils, chickpeas, nuts, and seeds. By incorporating that into our diet, we're really enhancing our body to be able to produce lean muscle mass. Then the other area of focus, right, is the gut microbiome. Okay, and when we talk about gut microbiome, we've got flora, gut health, okay, everybody goes straight to, right, it's prebiotics and probiotics food. Now, we have to remember that this process is continual change, okay? Our bodies will change. So the way our gut responds to foods will change too. And it may contribute to gaining the belly fat and weight gain. So in essence, in summary, when we talk about the gut microbiome, the way your body digests food in your 20s is going to be completely different to the way it does in 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Now, I like to concentrate on what we're eating to help with our gut health. And the reason being is having a mixture of both prebiotic and probiotic food. Not only are we optimizing the weight management, which is what we're talking about here, but it also improves our emotions, it reduces the brain fog, and there's very much of like a gut-mind connection, and therefore the anxiety and the overwhelm. So you go, well, why wouldn't we focus on this area and really feeding our bodies? So what type of foods are we thinking about here, okay? So you've got your prebiotics, which is the non-digestible food, okay, and that the good bacteria can digest. We can't, good bacteria can. And these are like your legumes, your beans, your peas, your oats, your berries, okay? And then we're looking at the probiotic foods, which are your Greek yogurt, your kimchi, your kefir. I have done a previous podcast episode on prebiotics and probiotics. So if you haven't listened to it, it dives a bit further into it. So please go and have a listen. So in summary, we can't get away with increase from gaining belly fat. But there was two main areas that we need to kind of focus on, as well as lifestyle changes, okay, that can really help with some preventative measures. But let me break it down into simpler terms even more so. What are we aiming for to tackle the weight gain? One, stop dieting, everybody. Please stop dieting. Crash dieting is not effective, in fact, to lose weight. So I have many clients that go, I've put on belly fat, I'm going on a diet. Does not work. It actually works against you. So your body needs the calories, okay, for energy. And when it doesn't get enough, your body goes into survival mode, because basically it believes it's going into a famine, and it will adapt to that situation by storing the fat and lowering your metabolic rate. Therefore, weight loss becomes more difficult to achieve and to maintain. So to avoid the weight gain, develop a healthy diet rich in those minimally processed foods. So we're talking about the ultra processed foods, we're talking about the sugars, the cakes. Minimize that. Increase your whole grains, your fruits, your vegetables, your seeds, your nuts, your lean protein, and healthy fats like olive oil, avocados. So first of all, to tackle the weight gain, stop dieting. Doesn't work. Secondly, look after your gut. Now, here's my top tips for looking after the gut, right? Eat plenty of unprocessed or minimally processed plant foods, okay, including fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, and whole grains. Eat a variety of different colours, okay? And aim to get about 30 different types of food, of the nutritious food, to get the variety. Do try and add in the fermented foods like the kefir, the kimchi, and do try to avoid eating late at night to give your gut, the gut bugs, call them, enough time to clear up the lining of your gut so you can get the full benefits. My third tip about combating weight gain is get plenty of sleep. And people have just gone, what? Okay, I've got weight gain. First of all, you've just told me to stop dieting, and we live in a diet culture. Secondly, I've got to eat nutrition and increase my gut microbiome. Okay, that's doable. But now you're telling me to sleep. How the heck is sleep related to it? Well, actually, studies have clearly shown that if you're not getting enough sleep, okay, it's associated with obesity, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular disease. Okay, and also there is a link between the amount of sleep your body, has, and its response to blood sugar. And this is where I talk about blood sugar and metabolism. That all changes, okay, again with your hormones. So how we metabolize sugar changes. So you're going, okay, this is totally unrealistic. I haven't got a sleep routine. I've got something that's happened. I've gone to bed late. I've gone out for a social. What do I do? Because the first thing I'm going to do is wake up in the morning and go, God, I need to get caffeine, or I need to get something to give me a boost. Actually, that's the wrong thing to do, because actually, if you opt for have a high protein breakfast, then that will enable you to give you the energy levels for lack of sleep. Plus also, double whammy, helps with the lean muscle mass. But what other things can we do to get plenty of sleep? And I do say, and I have said before, self-care, develop a nighttime routine. And that could be avoiding your screens. 10 after do not disturb. Do not look at your phone at least an hour and a half before you're due to go to sleep. Could be that you're doing some sort of relaxation, whether or not that's a bath or a bit of sleep yoga, or, you know, listening to a meditation. When we say like the sleep routine, I also go, okay, that starts way before you get your PJs on. Is try and think about your nutrition throughout your day, and have smaller meals towards the end of the evening. But equally, in order to aid better sleep, you've also got to exercise regularly, because that also promotes sleep, as well as numerous amounts of other benefits. And my final tip, okay, to combat weight gain is move more. Moderate exercise and 2 days a week of strength training, okay? Anything that gets your heart rate up has been recommended. When I say like moderate exercise to get the heart rate up, it could be that you're going to a dance class, or it could be that you're just dancing around your house. It could be that you're cleaning your house and dancing at the same time, mowing the lawn. You could go swimming. And then for muscle strengthening activities, essentially what we're focused on is make your muscles work harder. As I said, incorporate some yoga, lifting weights, using resistance bands. But it's important, and I suppose I kind of go, it's important to move daily, but find something exercise-wise that works for you in your lifestyle. And so by improving our muscle mass in our bodies, will improve the way we metabolize the food and combat the weight gain. Equally, doing some form of carb cardio workout, and that could be walking, cycling, swimming. What that does is actually it starts burning the fat and how you're storing those carbohydrates and sugar. So if you have a balance between the two, and you can incorporate it with your friends and your family, then that way you're getting the benefits of both worlds and doing something really, really essential to prevent that as a preventative measure for weight gain. So there you have it. It is as simple as that. 4 steps. 4 steps. First of all, remember, we're all going to get belly fat. Can't change that. But what we can do is take some preventive measures. Number 1, okay, is stop dieting. Number 1, eat a nutritious, balanced meal. Okay? And really focusing on those high protein foods, your gut friendly foods, right? And that's the second point. Focus on your gut, okay? Don't do the processed foods. Look at what works. Get the fermented foods in. Number 3, get plenty of sleep. And number 4, move more. If you would like to chat with me about your unique menopause experience and get some advice and maybe explore what it would be like to work with me, then obviously all my details are going to be in the show notes. So book a free, no obligation discovery call today. We can come away with a clear plan to start your journey. So, as I said, quick whistle-stop tour of belly fat. More than happy to take questions. This is going to be available on Spotify and Apple, also available on YouTube. Do move on over to YouTube, write some comments, email me directly through my website, okay, because it is, as I say, a brief, hot topic with some brief tips to help you today. Now, if you are hearing this message now, you've listened to the entire episode, to which I am entirely grateful for and want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Now, please, if you're listening to this and you think, I need to share this with a friend, share it with a friend, because there's just 4 simple things you need to consider. And I'm just asking for one baby step. One baby step today that can help you and your lifestyle. So please leave me a review, share with others, and thank you and take care, and I'll see you next week.